welcome to today's episode of Reading Reddit. Today's theme is the holidays, so let's get into it. Am I the A for saying I will never spend Christmas with my in-laws? I've been married for 5 years, and for the most part, we manage our families separately. He doesn't have real issues with my side, but they're not his type of people. His mother hates me, and it's mutual. She isn't fully blown awful to me, but I can just sense that she dislikes me and would be happier if I wasn't there. It helps that she isn't interested in children, so all of the boundaries I imagine her breaking have been a non-issue. He sees her alone fairly often, and we see her as a family a couple times a year and just kind of sit in silence. We usually rotate who we spend Thanksgiving and Easter with. I am 100% willing to suck it up and spend a rare holiday with her, but I refuse to spend Christmas with her for a couple of reasons. First of all, Christmas is supposed to be a magical time for the kids. Her house is pretty boring and not kid-friendly. I feel like I have to run after them constantly. She works in the art industry and has lots of expensive, breakable things in her living room, and it's all white. My husband is a great dad, but he is the one she wants to talk to, so I do all the kid wrangling. Second, she doesn't really celebrate Christmas. The house is all decorated and stuff, but they don't do much on the actual day. She married into a very Italian family, so they do a huge traditional Christmas Eve we aren't invited to. Not really my husband's family. And she ends up doing all of the cooking for that, and then Christmas is just chill. The last Christmas we spent with her was when we lived there. She just hung out with her husband and ate leftovers. They are usually hung over in the morning from the night before. They had their friends over in the evening, and he grilled, and I got up late to make a bottle and saw her husband naked because they were all naked in the pool or something. And it still bothers me to think that they were doing that while we were upstairs.
What?
Third, and kind of petty, we were still getting established in life, and my husband doesn't have money to drop on gifts like she does. I think she can sense that I am jealous and gets a thrill out of it. She doesn't really care about buying for the kids, which is fine, not her job, but I don't feel like doing Christmas mornings together and watching her get 5 times what everyone else got. My husband has been complaining lately about the holidays and how we never do Christmas with her. I gave him my reasons, and he said we should rotate, and it really isn't fair. That's what I do. Me and Zach, we always go back and forth. So we do this year, it was Christmas with his family, Thanksgiving with mine, and next year it'll be reverse. And it works quite well. But let's keep going. I said a hard no and that we won't be spending Christmas with her when she hardly celebrates and just kind of hangs out all day and then maybe has her a-hole friends over later. I said we aren't robbing the kids of actual Christmas, so I can wrangle them in her museum of a house while she just sits there in sweatpants, half asleep. All right, what do you guys think? Is the mom being an a-hole or not for not wanting to spend Christmas with her husband's family? This one's interesting because Reddit rated her the a-hole, and then she also deleted her account. So I guess she got a lot of heat on this. But from what I'm seeing, I don't know if she would be the a-hole, but maybe it's how she responded in the comments. We'll have to look more into it. But let's go back over the reasons. So first reason, she wants it to be magical for her kids, and her in-laws' house is just very breakable, expensive, all white, and she feels like she has to wrangle the kids the whole time. Honestly, I feel like that's not really fair to her. Her husband should also help, but I mean, he's also a good in-between because he's talking to his mom the whole time, so I don't know. Okay, and then the second reason, she doesn't really celebrate Christmas because she celebrates it the day before. Also, she did mention that the previous Christmas she was living with her in-laws. Um, and that's when she saw her mother-in-law's husband naked in the pool or something. But I mean, like, it's his house. They're in there, living there. But also, I feel like that's not appropriate. And then third, which she herself says is a petty reason, is she just doesn't want to see her mother-in-law get a bunch of gifts when, because she wants her kids to. So let's go into it. I like her husband's compromise about doing the every other, because that's like what me and Zach do. And I think that would be a fair compromise in their relationship. So if anything, I feel like she's being an a-hole to not try to compromise with her husband. She just said flat out no. To me, that's the only reason I think she's being an a-hole. It sucks to have in-laws you don't like. And it is definitely a tough thing, because it's not like, when you find your partner in life, no matter what, like, they're attached to their parents. It's their parents. Unless they themselves decide to completely cut off their parents, you can't decide that for your partner. But let's go into the comments section. Let's see. I feel like sometimes I love reading the comments because it makes me think of it in different ways, different perspectives, and sometimes it reminds me of things. Because, sometimes when you're reading, you forget some things. Okay, let's get into it. It seems the obvious solution is to invite the in-laws to your house. See, I didn't even think of that. It seems like the obvious solution is to invite the in-laws to your house for Christmas every other year. Whether they show or not is their choice. That is a great solution. That is a awesome solution, because, that takes away one of her three concerns. One of the concerns was the house being just like, she's so worried about her mother-in-law's house getting ruined. So that takes away that. And then it also takes away her concern about the magic of Christmas. She was saying her mother-in-law decorates for Christmas, but not like crazily. And they also don't do a bunch of cooking for Christmas. So that takes away that complaint. So now there's only one complaint left to talk about, and that's just, the Redditor saying that she doesn't like seeing her mother-in-law get a bunch of gifts. But, I mean, the Redditor herself says that it was a petty complaint anyway. So I think she just wanted to have a third thing in the list, have a clean three things in her list. But yeah, I think that's an awesome solution, just to invite them to your house instead. As it stands, although I understand your feelings about mother-in-law, YTA, because you are not willing to make any compromise, that's not how marriage and family works. I agree too. Yeah. Out of everything in her whole story, I think the only thing that's making the poster kind of a-hole is that she's not willing to compromise with her partner. Because, his parents are always going to be part of his life unless he makes that decision to cut them off. But if he doesn't make that decision, I mean, she can't say anything about it. It's his parents, So, yeah, she just has to compromise. Another person says, you're the A. The kids are equally his. Have you tried having your own big celebration on Christmas Eve so that everyone is on the same page on Christmas? You could strategically give the kids' grandmother's place friendly toys, and they would be happy to focus on all day. Plus, there's a pool that's unusable at Christmas? ? For what it's worth, my grandmother was similarly not a kid person with all white couches and a glass coffee table. By the time I came along, she had been widowed for decades and was a powerful businesswoman, and we had the best bond. She treated me like a small adult, and I loved it. Some grandmas bake cookies with you, and that's great. Some grandmas have you alphabetize their Rolodex, and that's also great. Another commenter says, you're the A. Your husband wants to see his mom on Christmas some years. This is a very reasonable ask, and you should be able to compromise. You know what? Another compromise I'm thinking is his mom doesn't care about Christmas. Like, that was stated multiple times. And the only thing she really cares about is Christmas Eve. And I get that his parents never invited them to Christmas Eve because it's mainly the father-in-law's family that comes on Christmas Eve. Maybe he could just ask to celebrate on that day. Or maybe that's too much to ask. I don't know. It is kind of bad to invite yourself to a party. But maybe the husband in this situation could talk to his mom and say, hey, I really want to hang out with you on Christmas, but since you only celebrate Christmas Eve, can I come to that? I don't know. Maybe that could be a solution too. But I do agree that the Redditor is a little bit of an a-hole for not willing to compromise with the husband. But I feel like there's definitely some solutions. So that everybody just needs to talk it out. Because obviously there is some tension in this family. All right, let's move on to the next story. Am I the A for not attending my family's Christmas gathering because I can't afford the $250 white elephant gift? That is crazy, crazy expensive. Whenever I've done white elephant, like at work or between friends, basically it was always like, when I was in high school, it was like $10. But in my adult life, it was always like maybe max $25 for white elephant. So that is crazy that the budget that you have to spend is $250. But let's get into it. And comment down below, what do you normally spend on white elephant? All right, let's get into it. So this Redditor is 29 female. My family has a tradition where we do a big Christmas get-together every year. And the highlight is the white elephant gift exchange. It's always been a fun time, but this year my family decided to raise the price limit to $250 per gift. That is crazy. That is so, so expensive. How old is this post? All right, this is from 6 years ago. So, times have changed. But still, $250, that's a lot for a gift. I'm honestly a little shocked. I get that inflation has hit, but that's a lot of money for one gift, especially for something that's supposed to be fun and quirky, not something super expensive or meaningful. That is a great point, because with white elephant, it's always random. So, I somewhat more understand spending a lot of money for a person, like specifically if it's something they really, 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 really want and something is meaningful and special to them. But for a gift where it's like anonymous, like you don't know who this gift is going to, and it's just like a random gift, and it's not, I feel like white elephant is never meant to be like super meaningful, because like I said, it's not for a specific person. Because if you haven't played white elephant before, it's normally like all the gifts are on a table and then everybody takes turns getting a gift. But they just grab a random gift from the table and then you're able to steal a gift and stuff like that. So it's not like you're gifting for a specific person ever. It's just, all the gifts are on the table and it's like a random roulette of gift giving almost. So normally you get something funny because you don't know who it's going to, or just something like everybody would have, like, I don't know, like a bath kit or something edible, like chocolate or charcuterie board stuff. But okay, let's keep on going. I have a pretty tight budget this year with unexpected medical bills and just general life expenses. After paying for all of my bills and essentials, there's barely enough left to get by. The idea of spending $250 on a gift is totally unrealistic for me, except to show up for the family dinner and festivities. I started feeling like I was being pushed out of the tradition because of my financial situation. I told her that honestly, if I can't participate in the gift exchange, then I might not come at all. I didn't want to be the person who has to sit awkwardly and watch everyone else exchange expensive gifts when I couldn't contribute. Plus, I don't want to feel embarrassed about not meeting their expectations. My mom thinks I'm being petty and that it's just one gift. My dad says I'm overreacting and that it's not about the price, it's about the spirit of Christmas, which, to be fair, I agree, but still, $250? Some of my siblings are saying I should just suck it up and join in because it's about being together, while others are telling me they agree with me, but are still going to participate since the majority of the family agreed to this. There's approximately 18 to 25 people in my family that will be there, and we are still expected to get gifts for our family members as well. That's a huge family. Spending $250 on a white elephant gift plus a gift for 25 people, that is crazy. I come from a big family, at least, I mean, not that big, but I came from like a family of six. There's six of us growing up all of Christmas. Now it's bigger. But when I was a kid, I was always very intimidated. When I was a kid, I was always intimidated trying to get enough money together, like my allowance and birthday present money and stuff, to try to get everybody something for Christmas. Because I think about my mom, my dad, and my 3 siblings, and that was a lot, for a kid. And now that I'm older, I have nieces, nephews, sisters, significant others, and I send stuff to my aunts now too. When I was a little kid, I didn't do that. I just wrote a card. But now that I'm older, I always make sure to send something to my aunts. But that's a lot of people, especially when you're in a financial bind. Let's keep on going. I feel like this is a massive financial burden that's being placed on me, and I just don't know if it's worth it to show up and feel out of place. So am I the a-hole if I decide to sit this one out? To clarify, $250 is the amount my family agreed to when it comes to the cost of the gift. I don't even think a maximum amount was discussed. That is a lot of pressure to put on a person. That is a lot. As a compromise, maybe you could just sit this one out. I think that's a good idea, like you suggested. Or at least come to the family dinner. Like if they're doing the gift exchange first, maybe you could come a little bit late to the gathering and then just come for the dinner and, to hang out with your family. Because I know it is kind of awkward to, just sit there and not be part of something. And especially when it comes to money, I feel like whenever anything comes to money, it's always it feels kind of embarrassing. It shouldn't be embarrassing. I mean, it's life, but still, it's always embarrassing to kind of be like, I don't have the money for it, but everybody else is doing it. It's a weird societal pressure. So I totally do get that. But I mean, I don't think you're the a-hole. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. $250 plus you're expected to get a gift for 25 other people. That is wild. Okay, let's see what everybody here says. Not the A, I get it. Would be very uncomfortable to be the only person who couldn't afford it. Tell your dad you will come if he gives you the $2,500. Not that that her parents should help, because that is a lot of money. But when I was a little kid, I remember at school we had a white Christmas for our whole class. We all had to bring in a thing, and I didn't have money because I was a little kid. So my parents, they ended up just buying me something to give. So that way I'm not left out. And if her whole family is that well off that they're all able to spend $250 on a gift, and her parents are making it a big deal, saying it's not about the money, it's about the gift, but it has to be $250. Maybe they could help her out. Maybe she could say, hey, my budget is $50. If you, mom, dad, I don't know. But I mean, I do think that could be okay solution, but also so much money. I would feel weird asking my parents for $250, even though it was the whole family's expectation. But let me keep reading some comments. Let's see if anybody else has any ideas. Not the A, sit this year out and make sure you send out exactly why on the family group chat, because no one has the right to tell you an amount exceeding your budget to just suck it up. If it gets said again to just suck it up, say, okay, I'll be in an hour, and get your credit card. And when they start saying, no, just say, suck it up. Yeah, I mean, everybody pretty much agrees this person's not the a-hole. But I'm trying to think of other solutions. I mean, I feel like if she just bought something within her budget, I feel like, because, I mean, this is a family gathering, I feel like they would all understand. Although it does suck when you do a white elephant and say, like, the budget's $25. I mean, I'm trying to separate it from this situation. I've done a white elephant Secret Santa thing before, where it was with a bunch of friends and the budget was like $25. And one of the people who was in our friend group decided to just give like a opened box of tissues, and that was their white elephant gift, and everybody else like bought something, but I think either they forgot and just got a last minute thing, or they were just trying to be funny for some reason, and I ended up getting the box of tissues. So I was definitely a little disappointed, because, you know, everybody else actually like got something like in a gift bag and stuff like that, and then I ended up getting the box of tissues. So I mean, that was kind of disappointing. So I don't know if she could just buy something within her budget and then just participate. For the other family members, it could be really disappointing for them, because they're expecting something of $250 too. But I mean, she could do something like coupons. You know how people do those cute little coupons during the holidays where they're like, free massage coupon, or I'll watch your kids for the day, or, you know, like little coupons where it's like that. Maybe she could do that and make it of a certain value. Like, say each coupon to her is like valued right around $20. So write enough coupons, you know. Maybe she could do something like that instead, or just sit it out. Or come late to the event. That way she misses the white elephant bit. That way she doesn't feel embarrassed while sitting there watching everybody do the gift exchange. But, I mean, it's her family. They should know what she's going through. So I just feel really bad that she's under this pressure, especially since she's going through all this medical stuff right now. Like she said, she's paying a lot of unexpected medical bills. So I feel like her family should be understanding. But let's keep on going. Would I be the A if I announce my pregnancy at my Christmas/birthday party, even though my sensitive ex would be there? Interesting. Why is he even there? Why is your ex there? I, female 30, and my fiance, male 31, recently found out we're expecting. We're super excited, but as private people, no one outside of our immediate families will know this is actually my second pregnancy. My first ended in miscarriage. I'm sorry to hear that. Out of a mix of anxiety and caution, we decided to wait until after my anatomy scan, which is the week before Christmas, to announce it publicly. Every year I host a big gathering for Christmas and my birthday, since they're a day apart. Friends fly in, and it's the one time my divorced parents can stand being in the same room together. Since my scan is right before the party, I should be starting to show. I'm thinking about using the birthday part of this evening to announce my pregnancy. Here's where the maybe a-hole comes in. My ex, male 32, will likely be there. We're still friends because he's close with a lot of my social circle, and we try to be civil. My fiance and ex were friends for over a decade before things went south. I wonder what happened. So her ex and her current fiance were best friends, and she left him and went with the best friend. I don't know. That sounds a little messy, but that's not what we're reading here. Let's keep on going. The TLDR of this is, that basically just means like the summary. My ex and I dated on and off for a year. It wasn't great. He was controlling and obsessive with the idea that I'd blank him if I did anything without him. Several months after our final breakup, my fiance and I started dating. My ex demanded my fiance choose between their friendship and me. My fiance chose me. My ex then spread rumors that we cheated, we lost a lot of friends, and the ones who stayed neutral are why he's still in the gatherings. If they're invited, excluding him feels awkward. That's messy. That's messy. I wouldn't be friends with that guy anymore because that was defamation. He ruined your character. He was controlling, obsessive. He doesn't seem like a good person. Why are you keeping him in your circle? I get that it would be awkward because you'd be excluding friends. And then also you don't want to lose more friends because you already lost some friends because of this whole situation. But if they're not willing to listen to your side, then were they really your friends to begin with? So there's always two sides to the story. And if you honestly didn't do anything, I mean, you could have explained it to the friends. And if they still didn't believe you, they're not your friends. But let's keep on going. Even though my fiance and I have been together for over a year now, my ex seems to have some lingering feelings and bitterness. He refuses to acknowledge our engagement, and the energy is always off when I see him. Sometimes friends think he's still grieving, but my fiance thinks we should cut him off, and those who defend him off. I agree. I agree with your fiance that you guys should just cut him off, and the ones that defend him, because they're not really your friends if they're not, believing the truth. Especially, at least the ex, you should probably cut off because he seems unstable and then also like actively messing things up still all this time later. So yeah, cut him off. I agree with your fiance. As for me, I'm just trying to maintain peace with the friends who stuck around after the pandemic. None of our friends know we even want kids. I was the oldest sibling of many and used to joke that I've done my time raising kids. I had an IUD and was actually scheduled for a tubal litigation, but I got pregnant against all odds. The first pregnancy and the subsequent miscarriage changed my heart about having kids. Since our friends don't know about that, this announcement will come as a surprise, especially to my ex. And yes, it's half a Christmas party, so I can give my friends and family their gifts, but everyone's really there for my birthday. So, would I be the A if I announced my pregnancy after the Christmas part of the evening during my birthday portion? ETA, a few points. I don't invite my ex. My attempts to ban him were met with hostility, and someone brings him anyway. That's messy. Cut him off. Cut him off. Quitting the friend group will freeze me out of a hobby I've had since childhood. Its niche requires a group and my ex isn't even in the hobby. Is it like D&D or something? Is that what you need a friend group? No. My mind went to a nerdy place instantly. It could be like sports too, I guess. You need friends for that. But
A few moments later.
fiance likes most of the people still, and they never bring up the ex's feelings or ask fiance to tolerate ex. They only seem to demand it of me. Okay, let's see what Reddit has to say. Not the A, your ex shouldn't be there. Totally agree. OP keeps hitting her thumb with a hammer and came to ask if she should continue to do so. Yeah, she shouldn't keep asking her ex to be there. But okay, they did write in the edit afterwards that she doesn't invite him, people just bring him anyway, but she should just tell her friend group like, hey, I don't want this guy here, you know? 100% stop inviting the ex, time for him to move on. Yes, her fiance was giving an ultimatum, friendship with the ex or relationship with OP. Fiance chose OP, but OP is still choosing the ex. Why is he still there? Our mutual friends want him to be there. They can throw their own party. Right, stop inviting him. Yeah, okay, I don't think she's the a-hole, and Reddit doesn't think she's the a-hole either for announcing her pregnancy at the party, but I think we all agree the ex should not be there. He should be, she already said he's not invited in the edit, but I think that was off after, you know, all those comments about her inviting him happened. So yeah, she already mentioned that he wasn't invited. He just keeps coming, and he's being really hostile whenever she tries to ban him. So she just needs to cut him off, make sure all the friends know, be really clear that, you know, if she needs to, just be really clear like, hey, he made up this lie that we cheated, he's being really hostile, you know, just be very clear. This is my reasonings, this is my boundary. And if anybody brings him here, then I also don't want you part of my life, because that means you don't respect my feelings, you know, and my boundaries. But what do you guys think? Comment down below. Let's get into our very last story. Am I the a-hole for giving my mother-in-law a fake copy of my house key and exposing her on Christmas dinner? Let's see. I want to preface this by saying that I, female 34, married my husband, male 37, a year ago. His mom is Snoopy and annoying AF. She can't help it. That's just how she is, as my dear in-laws say. You can help it. You don't have to be Snoopy. Sometimes you just need a deep breath and just reel in a little bit of that cray cray. Okay, let's keep on going. My husband and I purchased a new house recently. My mother-in-law kept pushing to get an emergency key. She promised that she would only use it in an emergency, but given the fact that she had an emergency key to her old apartment and walked in on us being intimate twice.
Oh, hi, Mark.
But my husband didn't think it was a big deal. I just couldn't trust her, so I just sent her a fake key after she kept pushing, and she had a smug look on her face after I hand delivered it to her. That's crazy. Your partner should definitely put up a bigger boundary, because his mom obviously wasn't respecting the whole emergency thing, considering she just kind of pounced in whenever she wanted. And I can see why you would want to give her a fake key. All right, days gone by, and on Christmas dinner, mother-in-law angrily called me out on the fact that I gave her a fake copy of the house key. She shamed me for doing this in front of everybody, but in my defense, I asked her how she found out, and she said days ago when she came over at 4 while my husband and I were out, I reminded her, didn't you promise you would only use that unless it was an emergency? So you tried to get in when there was no emergency, and you broke the promise you made to us. You caught her in the act. She looked red in the face, and the other family members started staring, and some even laughed at her in the face. She looked red in the face, and the other family members started staring, and some even laughed at her for the face she made. She suddenly got up from her seat and rushed into the kitchen, where she had a huge meltdown so loud that the next door neighbors must have heard. Literally, I've never heard a 60-plus-year-old woman throw a tantrum like that. Needlessly to say, dinner went awkward, and my husband and his sister were giving me looks. My husband went off on me in the car and said I lied and manipulated and humiliated and exposed his mom, and he said he wouldn't have let me get away with it had he known. We had an argument, and he is demanding I apologize to his mom for my childish behavior And for ruining Christmas dinner for the whole family. Am I the A? No, you are not the a-hole. I can't believe your partner is not standing up for you in any sort of way. I can't believe he's getting mad at you. You did not embarrass his mom. His mom embarrassed herself by bringing it up in front of the whole entire family. She could have handled that in private, and then she wouldn't have been embarrassed in front of the whole family. You didn't bring it up. She got caught doing something that she promised she wouldn't do, and then she announced it to the whole family, where you reminded her it's something that should only be used for emergencies. She embarrassed herself. That is not on you at all, because you know she could have done it in private, and then you could have reminded her about the emergency thing, and you know would have just been between the two of you guys, and her social thing wouldn't have been interrupted. So yeah, you are not the a-hole. And also it's crazy that, I mean, you did give her a fake key, but for her to immediately think that you purposely did that and your husband to purposely do that, I mean, because it could have just been a bum key. There's been times I've been to Home Depot, got in a spare key, and it didn't work. It didn't cut correctly. But I mean, you did give her a fake one though, so you can't really use that as an excuse. But the fact that she instantly blew up, had a meltdown so loud that the next door neighbors heard, that's totally on her. She did that. And you need to, I don't know, I think you need to get a better partner. That guy is too much of a mama's boy. He should have stood up for you a little bit. He should have stood up for you the very first time when his mom walked into you guys unky bunking in your apartment twice. And I can't believe he didn't think it was a big deal that his mom saw you guys do that. I don't know. Him and his mom are too close. That's too much. All right, more information. So this went off unexpectedly, and I thought I'd showed my husband some pretty helpful comments I found here minutes ago, and he got mad at me when he saw it and said I was nuts to talk about his family online. He demanded my phone so he could delete it, but I refused, and I went upstairs and into the bedroom. I never seen him so agitated, and I didn't think he would react like that, honestly. But thank you guys for your support. It really means so much. I'll update if I can. Thanks again. Yeah, that's your husband, or your partner. Did she ever say it was her husband? Yeah, husband. But that is not good behavior. That is not proper. I mean, I could see why somebody could be upset if you asked the whole internet for advice without their knowledge and it's about their family, but I mean, he wasn't being there to talk to you, and it's anonymous on here, and he was probably just more so pissed that everybody agreed with you. Yeah, so that's a little like being a little bit of a narcissist, but also he's way too much of a mama's boy. But let's read the comments. Not the A. I rethink my marriage if my husband put his mother above me. Snaps to that. In-laws are tough. They're tough. Very tough. All right, let's keep on reading. Let's try to find more comments. Basic respect. The fact the husband is trying to defend this behavior should be eye-opening for OP. For sure. Oh, hey, Mort. My cat. He came to visit. Hey, buddy. What are you up to? Okay. Let's find one more. He actually has the gall to say that OP lied, manipulated, and humiliated mother-in-law when mother-in-law was the one who lied and manipulated and ended up humiliating herself as a result. Yep, I totally agree. It's funny how people do that. Like, it's normally the ones that are the liars, the manipulators, the people with anger issues that always deflect and say, no, it's you. Like, they'll be like, no, you're the manipulator, you're the liar, you're the blah, blah, blah. They what's the word? They like, there's a word for it. Comment down below if you know what the word is for it. Project, maybe that's it. They always like project it on the other person, saying like, no, it's not me, it's you, you know? Let me see if there is another one. Not the A, but it really doesn't even matter because your husband is clearly a bigger problem than your mother-in-law. I wouldn't say a bigger problem, but they're definitely equally the problem. I don't know. The fact that she doesn't respect your guys' boundaries, your sense of space, that she feels like it's fine to walk in to you guys caboodling, the fact that she yelled in front of everybody and make a big issue to like embarrass you, but then got mad that it went back on her. I mean, that's all an issue. The fact that she's controlling, the fact that your husband is not willing to take your side in all of this, or kind of like be like, hey mom, you did promise that you wouldn't use this key unless for emergencies. I feel really bad for you, and I feel like I hope you have a good support system that can help. But yeah, you're not the a-hole, definitely not. Another person says not the A, but your husband seems to have no problem of you being humiliated and shamed in front of people. He seems to have no regards to your need of privacy and dignity. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he seems to be completely ignoring the fact that his mother was trying to humiliate OP in front of everyone first. I think that's like karma, like instant karma. She tried to humiliate her in front of everybody, instantly reverse Uno'd. I loved that. But let's continue reading. Honestly, his mother wouldn't even have been exposed in front of the family at Christmas if his mother had brought up the issue with the key to OP privately and not for dinner. Yes, I said that earlier. I totally agree. Yeah, the mother-in-law made her own problem. She definitely made her own problem. She broke the promise. It's not the girl's issue. They shouldn't have even have given her the second key, because the mother-in-law already displayed that she could not be trusted with this key the first time. And then the second time, she broke that trust again. So there definitely should not be a third time. I don't think there should have even been a second time. But yeah, no, the poster, not the a-hole. What do you guys think about all these stories? Let me know what your verdicts were, your judgments. Comment down below, and I will see you guys next time for the next Reddit story time. Bye everybody, have a great day.